Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and today I'm excited to bring a charity tournament to the channel. We're going to be one of many different broadcasters participating with the Girls Gank Squad fundraising effort. The effort is to benefit the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, a very worthy nonprofit. They are the largest private founder of breast cancer research worldwide, and all proceeds from our donations will go to benefit that organization. If you want to figure out or find out how to donate, we've got the exclamation mark donate chat and command that'll take you over to the relevant website. And donating does come with potential rewards. We'll be doing giveaways, raffling off prizes over on the main channel. That's PlasticeneX, twitch.tv/PlasticeneX. You can also find out all the other streams that are participating in the tournament using the exclamation mark GGS cast command. So let's talk a little bit about the tournament format. Round one, we're going to be doing a best of 3 series. All teams participating are made up of GGS members, and their ranks range from masters to probably, I think, bronze as well. So we're going to get to see a lot of varied levels of play, which might allow for some more niche strategies. The games are lots of fun to watch nonetheless. And with the teams being built specifically for this tournament, they all are named on theme. And this tournament, as is perhaps appropriate for the season, we've got horror movie heroines as our team names. So we have the good fortune of broadcasting Sydney Prescott taking on Alice Abernathy in the quarter best of 8 round. Top 8? Yes, top 8. There is no loser side bracket. It's all single elimination. Speaking of bracket, let's take a look to see what the other teams are looking like. The other channels will be broadcasting these games. Once again, you can find all of those other channels using the exclamation mark GGS cast command. So we've got Alice Abernathy taking on Sydney Prescott. On the other side of our lower half of the bracket, there's I'm sorry, catching 2 things at once. Okay, we've got Shelley Duvall taking on Ellen Ripley from The Shining and Aliens, respectively, whereas we've got Scream and Resident Evil. Logos kind of tell you the universe that the character is from if you're unfamiliar. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how these teams approach the map pool. There are no map bans for this tournament. We've got a donation coming in. A big wow, a big donation there. Huge thank you. And we're getting close to our goal. We're already making progress on our goal. If you are able to donate and want to support the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, please feel free to follow the link at !donate and give whatever you can. No amount is too little. It all makes a difference. Excellent. And it looks like we've got our teams getting ready here so we can take a look at the battleground selection for game 1. Let me just get that all set up. And then we can take a look. So Sidney Prescott is the upper bracket, upper tier of the bracket, giving them first opportunity to pick map or first hero. They have opted for first hero pick. And so Alice Abernathy are taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game 1. This is a battleground that requires good wave clear. Not only is it important for your basic Heroes of the Storm rotational play, it's also very important for the objective on the map. You need to kill minions to pick up gems, to turn in gems to summon your spiders, and after your opponent has summoned spiders, a lot of their pushing power is behind like how they mass minion waves behind them. So having heroes that are really efficient at clearing potentially very large waves makes the map much easier to play. So that is something that we should keep our eye out for in the draft. We'll also be looking for potential stall heroes to get safe interrupts on anyone attempting to channel their payment of gems. We can see things like Genji and Tracer filling that role with a lot of mobility, or we can see heroes more in the vein of Junkrat and Chromie, who have the superior range, but not necessarily that much mobility, but they do have vision tools. We've got another donation coming in. Thank you very much. It's great to see that we are already up to 238, and we're not even 15 minutes in. This is a fantastic pace for us. And once again, it is for a worthy cause. All the money goes to support the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So please give if you can. We were talking about Tomb of the Spider Queen, that's right. So yes, Chromie and Junkrat, they offer vision control as well as long-range spells for interrupting heroes who are turning in. There is some amount of boss control that a successful Tomb of the Spider Queen draft includes, as the boss in top lane can be a win condition as it gets later into the game. After you've paid all of your gems, if your opponent is pushed into their base, it's very hard for you to safely collect more. So the only way to really get through the next structural tier is to push with that boss. So having boss control is very helpful. Another donation coming in. A bit of a shame that I can't see the text because of my background. So apologies to everyone for that one. Let me try and see if we've got a lobby up. Great background, so no worries. Oh, thank you, Lionheart. Made it myself. It's my best attempt at a hybrid between my typical stream graphics and the Girls Gank Squad colors. So, it's okay. I'm no graphic designer or artist, but I made this thing work. I'm pretty pleased. Excellent. And we do have a lobby up. Fantastic. So we should be getting ready here shortly. We can check in and see the rank spread that we've got here, just for my edification, because I am new to most of these players. If you're interested in seeing who's on what teams, you can use the !roster command in chat. Alright, so we've got some diamond players, we've got some bronze players, we've got some gold players. So it really does span the gamut there. And I'll just let both of our teams know that we are ready out here in TV land as soon as they are ready with their figuring out who is drafting for whom. Getting back to our discussion of the battleground, we had talked about wave clear, we've talked about stalling heroes, we've talked about boss control. We talked a little bit about vision tools. Vision tools are very useful. Things like Chromie Time Trap and Junkrat Mine and Steel Trap, but also things like Tyrande Sentinel, to a lesser degree Malfurion, Moonfire, anything that can give you vision of the turn-in points to know exactly where your opponents are, can help you goaltend those turn-in points, and is something that I think really assists in a team's ability to get an advantage on the map. Is it a live game? It is a live game, yes. We are just waiting for the teams to get set. There's some technical issues, logistical, with what server we're on and whatnot, but we should be off to the races here for our best of 3. This is the first of 2 rounds that are going to be best of 3, and then the final round of the tournament will end up being best of 5. Okie doke. Here we go. We've got our first draft up for Game 1 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Sydney Prescott opted for first pick, so they'll have the first opportunity to ban a hero, and they will go with Junkrat. One of those stall heroes that I mentioned, they bring wave clear, objective stall, and vision tools, so not too surprising to see it all banned out, given how powerful they can be on the map. Alice Abernathy, we might see a target ban. This is also worth noting. In GGS draft errors, because it is a community-focused tournament, a missed draft pick is not necessarily stuck there. There's the Ragnaros ban. That is a bit of a target ban. On to Organized Chaos. a very talented Ragnaros player. And also, Ragnaros brings a handful of those important tools that we mentioned: wave clear, objective stall. His trait can be very powerful into the objective as well. And there is the Rhaegar ban. So Rhaegar and Junkrat, not necessarily target bans, but the Murky and Ragnaros definitely are. In the end, Hoxenos locking in Vala for Sydney Prescott in the first pick slot. Not too surprising. Vala is very powerful in the current balance of the game. Even with her nerf in the most recent patch. That's right, we get patches. If you're out of the loop, use !patch. But not surprising that Vala was first picked there. Alice Abernathy answering back with the Johanna Anduin. It is a tried and true combo. So, and brings wave clear in the tank slot. So not too surprising to see those picked up. Sydney Prescott will answer back with the Blaze Brightwing. The first three picks from Sydney Prescott, definitely a very general set of heroes. Their draft can pivot a couple different ways from here. They're not specifically well suited for the battleground, but they'll do perfectly well on Tomb, as we see the Asmodan ban from Alice Abernathy. So once again, probably a bit of a target ban there. Because this is, once again, a community-based tournament, these are players who have all gotten to know each other and play together before, so there is knowledge of these more niche picks, even if I don't necessarily have them. And there's the Hanzo ban. Okay. Hanzo bringing pretty good wave clear, excellent objective stall, great boss HP burn. Next two picks here for Alice Abernathy. They'll need an off lane as well as some damage. They're going to opt for Falstad and Greymane. Alright, so we could see an off lane Falstad. In all likelihood, that is the full damage profile for Alice Abernathy. And we will see an additional bruiser type hero picked up. Okay, and then we've got Varian. And the last pick is going to be Jaina. Okay, so Jaina, Varian, very strong pairing. One of the highest burst damage mages in the game, coupled with one of the more straightforward engaging tanks. Last pick here for Alice Abernathy, it's going to be Hogger, who has been known to hunt them down on occasion, a time or two. Let's take a look at these drafts as our teams load into the lobby. Hogger and Blaze in the offlane matchup. We've also got Varian into Johanna as the tank matchup. This is going to be a very execution-based game, I think. Both compositions very strong and have a decent amount of answers for them. If I had to give an edge to one of the two teams, I'd slightly favor Sydney Prescott based on draft alone, but the scaling available to Alice Abernathy with Johanna and Falstad as they unlock more and more powerful talents as they get later into the game, Hogger as well. The level 20 Storm tier for Alice Abernathy is very strong. So we'll see how it all shapes up here. We can get into the game for game one. And introducing our teams here on the left in blue, we've got Sydney Prescott. Shy Hardy on Jaina, Psychopants on Brightwing, Hoxenos on Vala, Sauverne on Varian, and Concept playing Blaze. And to the right in red, we've got Alice Abernathy. Organized Chaos on Hogger, Quibi on Greymane, Valkyslays playing Johanna, Kurama on Anduin, and Gypsum playing Falstad. We can take a look at our level 1 talents as we get into the first part of the game. We've got Organized Chaos working on getting the party started just right. This is a GGS tradition where both teams will spend a little time dancing. It's all in good fun. This level 1 fight definitely favoring Alice Abernathy. Varian does not have much in the way of stopping power or HP or anything until level 4 comes online for them. So we can see Alice Abernathy really kind of putting the pressure onto Soverne there. Not too surprising. We were talking about level 1 talents. Vala opting for Hungering Arrow at level 1. The Q build offering scaling damage every time they hit their Hungering or their Piercing Arrow on a hero target first. And both of our teams immediately getting onto these mercenary camps. Shy Hardy and Psychopants taking care of this Bruiser camp on the left, while Alice Abernathy have Quibi and Kurama taking care of it on the other side. I think, despite having started a little bit sooner, Alice Abernathy might finish second, just because of how quickly Greymane can tear through those mercenary camps. Checking in on the bot lane, we've also got Organized Chaos working on this siege camp. Concept has sniffed it out here. We'll see if anyone from Sydney Prescott is able to make the rotation. Brightwing phase shifting in here. Organized Chaos with their level 1 does not have a lot of innate regen. Here's the fly from Gypsum. Psychopants falling low, and that will be first blood going over to Alice Abernathy. Concept falling low as well. They're going to drop 9 gems. Valkyslays trying to zone Haxenos from them, able to pick up 5. So 2 takedowns and a quick experience lead for Alice Abernathy. They get the camp as well as those takedowns. It's a pretty big momentum shift here in the first 3 minutes of the game. Of course, this is also where Sydney Prescott will start to be a little bit more powerful than Alice Abernathy. Level 4, Soverne has Taunt online here. If they're able to connect... Oh my gosh, Quibi onto the Jaina. Once again, Valkyslays and Gypsum able to chase down the Jaina. Soverne holding on to 16 gems. Are they going to make it back to the gate? They will. Okay. So, Alice Abernathy really putting on a show here in the first few minutes of the game. Soverne coming down to get the taunt here onto Organized Chaos. They do still have the Hog Wild. An unstoppable retreat is really helpful in the off lane. No surprise. And they're very, Alice Abernathy, that is, very close to level 7s here. About 3/4 of a level lead. There's the taunt. Great leap of faith from Kurama. Will save the Johanna player from the worst of it. So the hero takedown XP is definitely... where is that? Yeah. Definitely what's making the difference here. That, in addition to the mercenary XP, has Alice Abernathy still in the lead. We see a rotation in here from Soverne. Haxenos getting the repeating arrow, and there it is. The first takedown for Sydney Prescott. We'll see if Alice Abernathy can make a counter swing here. Looks like blue team will be able to walk back to safety. Both teams now hold enough gems to summon Web Weavers. Haxenos vaults in once again. Valkyslay's falling very low. Soverne is going to connect with that charge to clean up another takedown for Sydney Prescott. As long as Sydney Prescott can continue to find these members of Alice Abernathy who are a little bit out of place and connect the Vala or Jaina damage, they're going to be in an excellent spot all the way up towards the heroic talent tier. Alice Abernathy able to secure the first objective, however, with Organized Chaos turning their gens in on the bot side. So we'll see how our teams prioritize pushing and defending. Looks like Alice Abernathy will commit 4 heroes here to the top lane, with Concept cleaning up mid and Organized Chaos working on bot lane. So Johanna has already used her Iron Skin here. That means Valk slays a bit more of a suitable target for Sydney Prescott to look for another takedown. And they're closing the gap here towards the heroic talent tier. Alice Abernathy have a narrow lead towards the level 10 all-important heroic. But, oh, Severne taking a lot of damage here. Able to dodge that Webweaver wave and make it out to safety. Checking in on bot lane, Organized Chaos has pushed through a lot of this fort and done a good job to be diligent in holding on to their Hog Wild. So about half of the bottom fort taken down, but outside of that, Sydney Prescott got a very successful defense. Severne almost complete with their Lion's Maw quest at level 1, and both teams unlocking their heroics here. Alright, so Alice Abernathy gave Sydney Prescott a little bit of room to get their gems turned in, opting instead to pick up their Bruiser camp to help defend against this objective. Severne gets the taunt here onto Kurama. Concept making the rotation in from the bot lane. A huge stun. Wow, what a great play from Sydney Prescott. Punctuated by a donation, no less. Wow, what a shift. 3 heroes taking down Concept once more. Organized Chaos and Valk slays both very low here. Well, Organized wasn't, but Valk slays making it out just with a sliver of HP. I didn't see the Blessed Shield go out, but it happened, as well as Gust. We have other heroics, of course. There's Ortopult, Light Bomb, and Cursed Bullet. And then on the other side, for Sydney Prescott, Rain of Vengeance, Blink Heal. Looking for Gypsum here, so Verne's making the rotation down. Unable to connect with the Falstad. Blink Heal. Ring of Frost and Bunker Drop. Another taunt onto Valk Slays here. There's the Blessed Shield, lands onto Varian. They don't have Shield Wall at level 10. Concept gets a great healing jet propulsion, and so Verne will make it out in spite of the Gust from Gypsum. Some really clean play from Sydney Prescott and Alice Abernathy both. I like that Alice Abernathy are looking for those takedown opportunities anytime that Blessed Shield is up and available for them. Gypsum had a great push into that tight corner of the payment station. Another excellent use of the heroic, but unfortunately not enough damage connected to follow up the engage. Organized Chaos misses their horde, and they're falling low. Okay. Everyone's going to make it out alive. Organized Chaos goes in, much like Oliver Twist, asking for more. There's the Horrible Light Bomb, lands onto 3, followed up by the Blessed Shield. Jaina will Ring of Frost, but only posthumously. And another takedown for Alice Abernathy. For them, with Sydney Prescott holding on to 5. That takedown looks like it's going to give Alice Abernathy enough room to turn in here, secure the next objective phase for the red team. Concept thinking about getting this bot camp started. I don't think it's wise. They'll back off, and it will leash in time. I think Organized Chaos might have been able to proc it themselves. We've got level 13s on both sides here. This is another tier that can swing things back in favor of Sydney Prescott. Sauverne unlocking Shield Breaker at level 13, Shattering Throw rather. So able to eliminate Valkslay's Iron Skin and therefore unstoppable the press of a button. Shy Hardy taking a risky rotation. There's a Cursed Bullet onto Sauverne. Psychopant's falling low here. They'll blink out, but Sauverne is not going to make it out alive. Organized Chaos in with the Hortipult Light Bomb combo once again. Hoxenos getting chased down by Quibi on the top side. Oh. So it ends up just being the Varian who falls in the engagement, but Alice Abernathy are doing a fantastic job chaining the Light Bomb and Blessed Shield combos. Using the Hortipult delivery system, of course, an excellent way to keep your engage from being telegraphed. Increasing their threat range. Concept coming in with the jet propulsion onto Valkslay's. I believe they still have their Iron Skin available, and they do. Concept unable to get any of those body blocks. So both teams have eliminated all of their opponent's outer structures here. The perhaps more important story, however, is the lopsided experience just around the corner from the level 16 talent tier for Sydney Prescott. We can see that is thanks largely to their passive experience and minion experience advantages. So Verne looking for Kurama here, connects, but unfortunately no damage is in range to follow up the engagement. Concept connects with Valkslay's. There's another Light Bomb in onto Organized from Organized Chaos. Concept into the bunker, and it looks like Valkslay's is the first to fall. Organized Chaos in full retreat here. Kurama gets the pull. Quibi falling low, narrowly dodging the Rain of Vengeance from Hoxenos. Level 16s in their hands. Sydney Prescott are going to continue to push here in the mid lane. It's a big power spike for a lot of our heroes. We've got Seething Hatred for Hoxenos, Greater Polymorph, Criterize for our Bright Wing, imparting damage amplification to any polymorphed target. So mid lane all cleaned up, and talent tiers even back up. Alice Abernathy have weathered this storm relatively well, considering they were down a hero for the defense. Organized Chaos using the Hogwile to finish off that clear. Kind of lucky that Sauverne had started to back up. And now we're at a bit of a holding pattern here. Sauverne could be caught. We'll see if Alice Abernathy pull the Blessed Shield. There it is. Oh my gosh, Sauverne on an island. Quibi falling low here. It's Sauverne to fall. Quibi traded 1-for-1. Hoxenos trying to make all of their damage rain down onto the correct target, but they've vaulted a little too far. They'll fall. Shy Hardy on the top side getting chased down here into the bunker to delay the inevitable. But in the end, it's 3-for-1 in the trade, favoring Alice Abernathy. Sauverne seems to be a little bit out of sync with the rest of the squad. Unfortunately, we've got Alice Abernathy onto the boss here. Organized Chaos had thought about getting the Bruiser camp as well, opting instead to get lanes moving in the right direction. So yeah, if Sauverne is able to get more connected with their damage structure, we've seen how deadly Sydney Prescott are when they're together and organized. Alice Abernathy have been doing a fantastic job capitalizing on those opportunities when they find Sauverne a little bit too far ahead of the rest of the squad. Valkslay's kind of sharking for Severne here once again. They're caught in an awkward position due to that tornado. And that's going to be another takedown, I think. Oh, but a huge Ring of Frost. Is that going to be enough to turn it? Alice Abernathy are able to kite a bit to safety. So I understand what the blue team is trying to do here. They're trying to take advantage as much as possible of the advantageous tank matchup that Varian has into the Johanna. Unfortunately, it's only as good as the damage follow-up. So despite a huge Ring of Frost from Sydney Prescott, they were unable to turn things around. Alice Abernathy doing a fantastic job. Kurama and Valkslays both protecting the team, healing them up as need be. Another donation. Fantastic. We're already up to almost halfway. And we're only through the first round, or halfway through the first round of competition, so keep those donations rolling in if you haven't given already. Severne caught once again. The Blessed Shield does not connect, however. Concept turning things around with massive jet propulsion. Ring of Frost lands onto 2, but there's no further damage follow-up. Alice Abernathy have unlocked the Storm talent tier. Blinded by the light for Johanna. Tooth and Claw? Tooth and Claw for Quibi, very cool. Inner Fire for Anduin, the Light Bomb upgrade, as well as the all-important Wind Tunnel for Gypsum. So that is something that we're going to have to keep our eye out for. Organized Chaos going in onto the Jaina once again. They opted for Secret Stash at level 20. Oh my gosh, the turnaround jet propulsion from Concept, pretty big here. Organized Chaos just living under this mid-keep. So Verne trying to get some body blocks there, but the Hogger keeps chasing. We've got the rest of Alice Abernathy connected onto the core here. Gypsum will use the Gust to get Sydney Prescott away from them. Perhaps a bit premature there. I don't know if they're going to get through the core shielding here. An excellent attempt from Alice Abernathy, but in the end, Sydney Prescott able to weather the storm. They've lost mid-keep, but secured storm talents of their own. Demoralizing Shout for Varian at level 20. We've also got Cold Snap, the Ring of Frost upgrade for Jaina. Fortified Bunker for Concept on the Blaze. Fairy Protector? Fairy Protector. Severne caught once again. Oh, a huge engage over the wall from Organized Chaos with the Portapult upgrade. We've got TNT going everywhere. Severne's first to fall. Hoxenos will not last much longer. Unable to trade. Concept, however, gets that jet propulsion in. Gypsum has to use the Gust to save themselves. Concept falls very low. They do still have the bunker. They'll be able to get in it here and do a little bit of bunker dancing. It looks like they're going to make it out. Alright, so they're healing back up here in the Hall of Storms. They still have a lot of damage available to them with Shy Hardy alive. However, it looks like Alice Abernathy are going to get through at least 50% of this core HP, if not more. Yeah, Gypsum and Quibi are connected and safe on the bottom side of this fight, and that'll do it for Game 1, going in favor of Alice Abernathy. GG and well played. So there you have it, Game 1 in the books. Alice Abernathy showing a fair bit of prowess piloting their composition. The Hogger Light Bomb combos in particular were really quite impressive. It is a somewhat tricky combo to time out as a Hogger player, I can say. So the fact that Organized Chaos and Kurama have such tight synergy on it is really awesome to see. Let's take a look at our post-game stats to see how our teams did Who got the shiny numbers? Hoxenos top damage with almost 84,000. And Organized Chaos ahead of the leaderboard for Alice Abernathy. That is the upside of going for the TNT-focused build on Hogger. Particularly taking Journeyman's Cooking at level 1. You don't have as much in-lane sustain, but your potential damage output with the sheer AoE that you provide is truly punishing. Anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing too surprising here on the builds. So Verne opting for Demoralizing Shout rather than Glory to the Alliance is really the only thing that surprised me here. So a fantastic first game. Let's head back to our Battleground selection as our teams get prepped for Game 2. It is a best-of-3 series today for the first round here. So Alice Abernathy could look to close it up in a quick 2-0, but I'm sure Sydney Prescott, and Sydney Prescott, to be fair, had very strong moments there throughout the game. It was by no means a blowout. So it could be that the Battleground selection that Alice Abernathy was given in Game 1 was the difference maker. Of course, if Sydney Prescott stick with first pick, I guess that'll kind of be them saying that they don't feel that the map is too important for them. And the composition that they drafted, Jaina Vala, Varian, you know, this is a very generalist draft that could work on any Battleground, as mentioned before we got into Game 1. So there is a benefit to that in that they could just run the same composition in this next game if they don't opt for Battleground selection. Of course, the downside is that if it's not particularly tailored for a specific Battleground, it might not be as well suited to it as a composition that has a little bit more consideration for the map pick. Which is why I am really not sure what the optimal choice is in the current meta between first pick and map pick. It's an interesting little thought experiment in my mind. The prevailing wisdom is that first pick is the thing. But I don't know. I see a lot of teams get a lot of mileage with Battleground selection. As far as Battlegrounds are concerned, where do I think we might go? If Alice Abernathy are picking again, a tight rotational map might suit them well. We could think of an Infernal Shrines in that case. Of course, I do not know if Sydney Prescott has a preference there. The other... I would love to see a Braxis game, truth told. But it's not everyone's most favorite Battleground. I like watching it in a competitive, organized setting. Okie dokie. And we do have our next Battleground selection. We're headed to Battlefield of Eternity. as chosen once again by Alice Abernathy. So, tight rotations, not over lanes, but instead tight rotations around the vision in the middle objective point. I talked a little bit about vision tools for Tomb of the Spider Queen, but for Braxis Hold, or not Braxis, I'm sorry, got Braxis on the mind. For Battlefield of Eternity, vision is all important. The ability to cross terrain as well, a huge benefit. Just given the tricky terrain layout of the objective pit, if you've got enough vision tools, we can see certain more niche tank picks. Garrosh becomes very powerful on a battleground where you can't see him, but he can see you. This would be another spot where Soverne's Varian would work quite well. As well as Hoxenos on the Vala. Alice Abernathy, what was their damage structure again last game? Opted for Falstad Greymane. Another suitable pair for the objective here. Sylvanas also comes to mind as a great hero for the map, just because of her trait and how that can accentuate a push with the enemy immortal. Alright, let's get into the draft for Game 2. Alright, last game, Sidney Prescott opted for a Junkrat ban in the first slot. The vision control that Junkrat offers is very powerful on the battleground. His ability to burn immortal HP, however, a bit lackluster. So not as high priority a hero from a battleground perspective, but still a very tricky hero to work around. So Sidney Prescott stick to their guns, banning out Junkrat once more. We've got a Rhaegar ban again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rinse and repeat. These teams have done their homework and know exactly what they do not want to see. There's the change-up. Johanna, the ban this time, rather than Ragnaros. So, Organized Chaos does have the Fire Lord available for pickup. And there's the Vala ban as well. So with the Chief Immortal Burn hero banned out there, it is an open question what takes precedence here. We could see a first pick Blaze. That would surprise me a bit. It's going to be Raynor instead. Okay. Raynor, not frequently thought of as a hero. Frankly, most people have forgotten about Jimmy, but Exterminator at level 1 makes him, I believe, one of the fastest baseline auto-attacking Immortal Burn heroes. I don't know the charts, friends, but alright, Li Ming and Stukov. Okay, so Li Ming brings the other flavor of Immortal Burn that is important, where Raynor on the side of Sydney Prescott can just shoot away when they've got access to the Immortal. Li Ming can start peeling Immortal HP off bit over bit, poke over poke, thanks to her long range. Yrel and Anduin picked up here. So Yrel brings that terrain crossing potential, as mentioned. Being able to engage out of vision over terrain is very powerful, as we saw in Game 1 with Organized Chaos jumping over walls with a light bomb on them. Sydney Prescott now have that opportunity available to them in the form of a Yrel light bomb combo. Not quite as far range, of course, but potent nonetheless. Alice Abernathy still need to pick up a front line and an off lane. Got one more flex spot as well. I would be surprised if Organized Chaos did not opt for the Ragnaros. And we've got Quibi back on the Grey main, with Valkyslays opting for a Nubarak this time around. Once again, terrain crossing. Diablo. That's something that a hero I hadn't brought up yet, but is excellent on the map. And Zag bringing decent poke and vision control, and there's the Ragnaros from Organized Chaos. You give him the Fire Lord, I'll take the Fire Lord. Alright, let's take a look at these drafts as teams load into the lobby and talk strategy. So, both teams have terrain crossing engages available to them. Sydney Prescott with the Yrel and Alice Abernathy with the Anubarak. As far as damage follow-up for that style of engagement, I think Alice Abernathy is a little bit in a better position. Li Ming's spells going over terrain, whereas Zagara and Raynor really want to be connected with their auto attacks. Of course, Diablo makes up for a little bit of that just because of the sheer attack damage that the Lord of Terror brings. I like both drafts. It's going to come down to the execution once again. So let's see who can take it here in Game 2. And introducing our teams once again. Sydney Prescott on the left, Hoxenos playing Raynor, Shy Hardy DK on Zagara, Soverne on Diablo, Psychopants on Vala, and Concept playing Yrel. To the right in red, we've got Valkyslays on Anubarak, Gypsum on Li Ming, Quibi on Greymane, Kurama playing Stukov, and Organized Chaos on their signature Ragnaros. Take a look at our level 1 talents here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Soverne opting for Devil's Due at level 1 and starting the dance party, as is tradition. Excellent, excellent. Good job. Good sportsmanship all around. Perfect. Now we can start hitting minions. And Soverne takes the opportunity to immediately go on the Valkyslays. Of course, this is a level 1 Diablo with no souls to their name. Their trait offering them more and more HP as they collect souls from minions and heroes. But it means that without those souls in the Black Soulstone, they are very weak and are going to take a lot of punishment from Gypsum and Quibi. So Verne continues to engage on the Valkyslays here. A bit of a pattern that we saw emerge from Game 1. Alice Abernathy getting an advantage here in the wave clear. Organized Chaos making the rotation down as well. That is the advantage that having a superior wave clear hero in the offlane can give your team. They're able to make the rotation down to bot lane, look for a potential for a pick. So Verne healing up pretty well thanks to their level 1 Devil's Due. the healing from globes and their healing fountain, both amplified by the number of souls they've collected. Checking in on top lane. Concept low on mana here. Organized Chaos doing well to trade into the Urel. Level 4's around the corner here. Severne connecting with Gypsum. Looks like there isn't going to be any backlash on the side of Alice Abernathy. Valk Slays making the rotation in, as well as Organized Chaos. I think this is going to be a camp steal. I don't believe Severne is going to get here in time, and they'd already used the Shadow Charge as well. A late rotation in means Alice Abernathy will get to steal away that mercenary camp and secure First Blood. Level 4s on both sides. We've got Souls to the Flame for Severne on Diablo, opting for a W-based build. Organized Chaos is in trouble here. Concept gets the boob. And a good body block here. One more auto attack would do it. Oh, and Concept is falling low. Organized Chaos into Molten Core will take care of Urel. And all the while on the bot side, Alice Abernathy have been racing away, burning through this Immortal HP. So that is halftime going over to Alice Abernathy, as well as another takedown. So a slight experience lead now. A sizable Immortal HP lead. Sydney Prescott do have a great composition for defending against the objective. It can be tricky for Raynor to step up during the Immortal securing phase, but during the pushing phase, generally they have relatively free access to land their auto attacks onto their target. Severne falling low here. Does Psychopants have the Leap of Faith? I don't believe they do, having used it up top, or Concept in that attempted rag gank. Level 7's now in the... Oh, okay. Sorry. Level 7's on the side of Alice Abernathy. A full globe build for Gypsum, opting for Zai's Vengeance at level 7, looking to get resets on their Arcane Orb. We've also got it Growing Infestation for Kurama, looking for a E-based build paired with Low Blow. Lurking Arm now can be channeled without standing still, and it does a bunch of damage. Sydney Prescott have equalized on the talent tier, but once again, we've got Organized Chaos making this rotation in. They're going to get the slow onto Shy Hardy. Severne collapsed on by the rest of Alice Abernathy. The Ragnaros was just a distraction. And so, in the end, the takedown goes on to Severne once again. Yeah, they've been the main target here for Alice Abernathy. Viscous Acid, rather, for Shy Hardy. I think it's a great pickup, honestly. Ragnaros running at them has been an issue for the Zagara, so being able to slow their advance a bit with those Baneling barrages could help make a difference. We've got Organized Chaos making another rotation here into the bot lane. Alice Abernathy a half of a level away from the heroic talent tier. Here's another big slow. Oh no! Another engagement goes in favor of Alice Abernathy. Sydney Prescott continue to reel on the back foot here, punishing the front line of Sydney Prescott whenever they can. Finding a Zagara here and there as well. Hard to complain about that. Concept in a lot of trouble here. it looks like Alice Abernathy are mostly concerned with burning through this immortal HP. However, they've got heroics. It's Sulphurous Smash, Disintegrate, and there's the engage. A huge Soul Smash lands onto 2. Shy Hardy goes down once again. Psychopants caught in the web will go down as well. So 7 takedowns unanswered thus far for Alice Abernathy. Heroics will be a big turning point for Sydney Prescott. Concept becomes a lot more survivable. So Verne able to get more potent engages as well. So we'll see if this even talent tier will make the difference. A full HP Immortal headed towards top lane. Organized Chaos pushing out waves in bottom lane will require Concept to tend to them as well. So Verne eats the Cursed Bullet here. 1.5 level lead for Alice Abernathy. Alright, Hoxenos will pop the Hyperion. Shy Hardy stepping up pretty far here. Gets 2 in the Maw. Kurama peels with the flailing swipes. Hoxenos this whole time is working on this Immortal, so it's only half of the damage profile of Sydney Prescott working on the heroes. Organized Chaos makes the rotation in. They've been scouted out by the minions. I know they want to try and get this fort down and pull a core. So Verne gets the stun and flip. Oh my gosh, but they eat so much damage. Organized Chaos is gonna fall. Okay, Hoxenos in trouble here. Quibi taking a lot of damage. Does Concept have one more boop to knock the Greymane in? They do. That is all the CC they had available to them. Oh, Shy Hardy falling low. Gypsum getting so many resets on these arcane orbs. Alright, first takedown for Sydney Prescott will give them the opportunity to get this top mercenary camp to push out top wave a little bit. They've closed some of the gap in the experience department as well. Now just down a level. So Verne and friends stepping up to try and apply as much pressure as they can to this front wall. Alice Abernathy are ahead on the talent tier front. So we'll see. Oh, Sydney Prescott finds the rotation onto Organized Chaos, but Organized Chaos might make the 1v4. Oh my gosh, they do. Kurama with the lurking arm. Valk slays, and Kurama cleaning up that massive, massive Sulphurous Smash from Organized Chaos. They lose Rag, but they get top fort and 4 more takedowns. Alice Abernathy really putting on a clinic, and this is precisely why we saw the Ragnaros ban in Game 1. Organized Chaos makes that hero look truly OP. It's really impressive. We've even evened up the talent tiers once again. We'll see what Sydney Prescott pick up here. The damage profile for them doesn't really come online too much until level 16 with Corrosive Saliva, an option for Zagara, unlocking percent damage for all of their summons. But until that happens, they don't really have anything in the way of burst damage. Oh, a great engagement here on the Valk Slays, looking for Concept. They'll eat the Cursed Bullet. All 5 heroes from Sydney Prescott already committed. Organized Chaos gets the rotation in. They're no doubt looking for another slow, and they want to step up. Yeah, we'll see them channel here. The root won't stop them. Hoxenos caught. Gypsum and Kurama putting a lot of damage onto the Rainer. Shy Hardy falls on the top side. Saverne and Rainer, Hoxenos both fall here on the bot side. the Immortal still has a little bit of shielding HP. 3 more takedowns for Alice Abernathy. 15-2, a 3-level lead. The death timers are still quite short. Alice Abernathy may not be able to finish the game off here. They're at least not without a few more takedowns. Of course, they've shown that they have no trouble finding them when needed. Concept jumping in, popping the heroic. It heals, but only if you've taken damage. Psychopant's falling low. The core has lost shielding. Quibi is connected, as is Organized Chaos. Little bit of a kite from Organized Chaos, and there's the Soul Smash onto Zagara. Oh. Quibi looking for Hoxenos here. Core down to about 50% HP. So Verne trying to do what they can to get Alice Abernathy off of their core, but that's going to do it. A quick 2-0 going over to Alice Abernathy. GG, well played to the Resident Evil team. Fantastic. And a great way to finish out the series with another donation. Thank you so much for your contributions. So there you have it. Series 1 in the bag. Done. In the end, Alice Abernathy picking both battlegrounds, looked very comfortable on both. Did a little bit of pick on the tank. Sydney Prescott having a real tough time keeping their front line alive in both games 1 and 2. You can take a look at our post-game stats here. Quibi on Greymane with almost 54,000 HP of damage dealt. I think that's going to probably largely be due to the Cursed Bullet onto Diablo and Yrel, but nonetheless, a bunch of damage. And once again, Organized Chaos showing up very prominently in the damage department with 41k of their own. As for talents, we had a full Blast Wave build for Ragnaros, a Inspire-based build for Hoxenos and the Raider. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. Perhaps the most non-meta, quote-unquote, talents coming from Gypsum there, opting for the Arcane Orb talents at 7 and 16. But they got a lot of mileage out of them. You know, they were able to follow up with their big damage spell every time Valk slays or Organized Chaos engaged. So really well played there from Alice Abernathy. Let's kick it over to our favorite match summary. So a great first match for this section of the bracket. I think we can actually take a look here. Let me see if... Oh, you know what we can do? We can exclamation mark bracket and follow the link to see if the other games have finished. It doesn't look like it. Fair enough. So in that case, we'll just give ours a quick 2-0. Excellent. So, yeah, picking on the tank, a very potent strategy. Alice Abernathy looking very well coordinated. Organized Chaos on the Ragnaros, a real terror for everyone on Sydney Prescott. Quibi's Greymane also looked very strong in both games 1 and 2. So I'm going to be excited to see how these teams, or how this team continues to fare as we move forward in the tournament. That'll do it for this channel, but that's not all there is for the whole tournament. After signing off here, I'm going to raid us over to the main stream over on Plasticene's channel, and the fun continues for the rest of the rounds over on Plasticene's channel. So stay tuned there for more great HOTS. And thank you to everyone who donated, already reaching a little bit over half of our goal. It's a fantastic way to start the stream, especially when we're only theoretically 1/3 of the way through the tournament. And not even less, because the final game is a best of 5 and blah, blah, blah. Either way, everyone who donated, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for your contribution. If you haven't yet, please do. There's no amount too small to help support breast cancer research. The Breast Cancer Research Foundation makes a huge difference for all those suffering. So please give if you can. And you can find all that information over on the !donate command. So that'll do it here for me. I'm going to sign off. Before I do, thank you to everyone who tuned in. And thank you to the Girls Gank squad for putting on a fantastic tournament. And last but not least, a huge thank you to all of the musicians, artists, and programmers whose work I feature here on my stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions, and you can find links to all of their work below, as well as coming up in a credit roll here after I leave ya. Until next time, good luck, have fun, peace and love. Another $100. Amazing. Thank you, Valk, for your donation. Huge contribution. Much appreciated. Take care, everyone.